Welcome back, guys. This is Sports Arenaghchannel channel. If today happens to be your first time with us, kindly subscribe to the channel. And also don't forget to put on the post notification bell so that anytime we bring you new updates, you will be updated on time. And also like our videos and share our videos as well. So today too is another day. We are still on the Chelsea, issue. Now, the information that has reached us now is that Chelsea has brought in a new coach from Strasbourg. And don't forget, Strasbourg is in League One and they are doing pretty well. And this team also belongs to the Chelsea board as well. So it's sister club to Chelsea. And the manager there is doing very well. But do you think that this is the time for Chelsea to bring in a new coach? Do you think this is the time for Chelsea to bring in a new coach without solving the problem that is in the club? See, for me, I think this is not the time. They should allow the interim coach to, continue his work and then make sure that they fix the problem. They fix the problem. Because if you ask me, as I told you in the previous video, I don't see the managers as problem. All the managers that were employed by Chelsea, I don't see them as the problem. But I see the Chelsea board and the owners as the main problem. See, looking forward, Chelsea's managerial chaos won't fix itself unless both the club culture and processes change based on patterns we've analyzed. Here is a clear step-by-step breakdown of what needs to be done. 1. If Chelsea board or the owners want this problem to be solved, then they have to align vision with patience. They have to align vision with patience. Chelsea needs a clear long-term footballing philosophy. For example, Pep-style youth integration, possession-based. The board must commit to that vision for at least 3 to 4 seasons per manager instead of expecting instant results. It will not work. It won't work. Without patience, even the best coaches like Maresca, who was sacked recently, and Pochettino, all these coaches, came in as Chelsea coach, and they failed. They failed not because they are bad coaches. Okay, all these coaches, they failed at Chelsea, and it's not because they are bad coaches. You cannot tell me that Enzo Maresca is a bad coach. You can't tell me that Graham Potter is a bad coach. You can't tell me that Pochettino is a bad coach. But they all failed because of the system in Chelsea. And it's not because of the system itself, but it's because of the board. They've laid down the system, but they don't want to stick to their system, which is the long-term vision that they always say in public. Now, without patience, the results that they are expecting, they will never get it. They should also set realistic short-term targets. Separate long-term development goals from short-term result goals. For example, short-term, stabilize league position, reduce defensive errors. Long-term, develop academy players, build tactical system, implement possession style. This avoids the fire after 3 bad games mentality. You understand? Well, I don't know what you think, but just leave your thoughts in the comment section. Again, improve managerial support. Chelsea board needs to give managers control over transfers, align with the club philosophy. They should also provide technical staff continuity instead of overhauling coaches repeatedly. Again, they have to ensure communication between board, coach, and sporting director is transparent and consistent. They have to make sure. They should also reduce impulsive decisions, avoiding sacking coaches based purely on short-term dips. They have to also introduce clear evaluation matrix from over a defined period, tactical implementation, youth development, injury context. They have to also learn from Arsenal. See, Arteta was allowed time and the club is now thriving with Pep influence style. And we can all attest to that fact. We can all attest to that fact. You understand? See, let's look at something here. Arsenal, Mikel Arteta and Enzo Maresca, they were all, they were all taught by, Pep Guardiola. Okay? If you look at Arteta and Maresca's approach, you will see that the difference is very, very small. Why? Because they are all Pep Guardiola disciples. But the gap in consistency comes from some very real, very practical differences. Let me break it down here. See, Mikel Arteta took over Arsenal in 2019, has had 5 to 6 years to clear out players who didn't fit his system, and he has also built leaders like Martin Odegaard, Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Jesus, and Declan Rice. Okay? Now, Enzo Maresca took over Chelsea in 2024 and still teaching a basic positional play, learning his squad limits, fixing habits from multiple previous coaches. Pep football is not plug and play. It rewards time, repetition, and trust. See, when you look at Arsenal squad, the core has stayed together. Arsenal squad, they have, a core in the squad which has stayed together. Let's look at some players like Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli, Saliba, Gabriel, some goalkeepers, same center backs pairing. Players understand each other, not just the system. But if you look at Chelsea, constant squad, churn, young players, new signings every window, injuries, disrupting rhythm. Chemistry resets every few months. Consistency comes from relationships, not just tactics. Okay? See, Arsenal, if you look at the Arsenal team now, there is a clear leadership on the pitch. When you look at their games, when you watch their games, you could see a clear leadership on the field of play. A player like Odegaard controls tempo, Rice manages chaos. Gabriel and Saliba organize the line. When game gets messy, they self-correct. What about Chelsea? Look at Chelsea. Chelsea leadership still forming. Many players are talented, yes, but inexperienced in title race pressure. When things go wrong, the team looks unsure who to follow. Pep-style teams need on-field generals. Even though a player like Reece James is a fantastic player, his leadership skills is on top notch, but he alone cannot do it. He needs other players on the field of play. He needs other players, mature players to do this with. Let's look at game management, where Arsenal are elite. This is where the biggest visible gap is. Arsenal know when to slow the game, kill momentum, win ugly, can defend a 1-0 without panic. Chelsea, in the case of Chelsea, it's not like that. Often play at one emotional speed, struggle to control transition, close games calmly, leads to dropped points after good performance. Look at Chelsea recently. They played against Barcelona and scored them. They won that match. But after that match, after winning against Barcelona, what did we see? Inconsistency. Controlling bad moments, not just good ones. So, as I was saying, let's look at Arsenal and Chelsea. Chelsea squad. Maturity versus potential. See, Arsenal squad is now in its prime. Players have failed, learned, and grown together. Unlike Chelsea, squad is full of potential. But potential gives you high peaks, low floors. That's why Chelsea can beat anyone and still drop points unexpectedly. Pep influence. Pep clone. This part is important. Arteta has evolved beyond Pep. More direct, better rest defense, physically dominant. Maresca is still closer to pure positional play, strict structure. Arsenal system is now hybrid. Pep principle plus Arteta's own identity. Chelsea are still learning the language. And this is the fact. This is the fact. Chelsea are inconsistent not because Maresca is worse or bad, but because Arsenal are further along the journey. Arsenal have stability, leaders, and memory. Chelsea are still building foundations, youth plus change, volatility. You understand? If you want, see, if Chelsea really want the interest of the club and not individual interest, then they have to understand. They have to know that they must sit down and think. Allow this interim coach to take over for some few months and make sure that they fix this problem by aligning with their vision. Align with their vision. And what is that vision is? Clear long-term footballing philosophy. They have to align it, not only align with that, but also align it with patience. With patience. Before they go in for, another coach to take over. I can tell you that if Chelsea, if care is not taken, this coach that I have heard that they are going for, they will end up sacking him. And this is not going to be good for the club. It is not going to be good for the club. They have to make sure that their decisions will strengthen the club identity. Chelsea needs a recognizable footballing DNA, style, youth pipeline, and transfer strategy. Currently, every managerial change resets the system, undermining progress. Consistency builds team, culture, fan trust, and long-term success. You see, Chelsea could communicate their long-term strategy publicly, tempering pressure for instant results. This reduces media-driven panic and gives the board the space to support managers fully. This is it. Chelsea's chaos is systematic, not managerial. Going forward, they must commit to a long-term vision. Give managers time, support them with transfers, set realistic short-term goals, and stop reacting impulsively to losses. Only then will a Pep influence youth-focused philosophy work at Stamford Bridge. If they really, really want things to work. So this is my take on the current situation in the club. Let me know yours in the comment section. Let's get interacting. Don't forget to like our videos and also subscribe to the channel. Share our videos with your friends because sharing is caring. We will be back again with more updates. Bye-bye.